Chapter 9. The Export Phase, Empire by Network Effect. Once the integrated crisis machine achieves stability at home, the next step is inevitable. Expansion. Not with tanks, not with invasions, but with invisible tendrils of dependency, the genius of this phase is that the target nation never sees an occupying force. Instead, they see help. Aid packages, disaster relief, climate adaptation funding, infrastructure investments. What they don't see is that these are Trojan horses, each carrying a piece of the same integrated system that already runs domestically. Soft. Entry points. The export phase begins quietly, sliding in through vulnerabilities. Disaster response aid. Foreign governments invite in emergency management experts after a major flood, fire, or famine. Those experts bring the playbook and the hooks. Infrastructure modernization, grants and loans to rebuild ports, grids, and water systems come with embedded, smart management tech that's fully integrated with foreign servers. Economic. Stabilization. Bailouts after debt crises tie entire central banks into the same globalized financial AI that already dictates domestic currency flow. Each of these entry points connects the target country's critical systems to the network: weather data, commodity pricing, supply chain management, and citizen tracking. Replication through dependency. The beauty and horror of the network effect is that once you connect, you're in. From there, you're not just influenced, you're dependent. Need weather predictions? They come from the same satellites that can also alter the forecast. Need grain shipments? They're priced and scheduled by algorithms optimized for the network's stability, not yours. Need funding for infrastructure repair? The contracts specify which vendors and tech you must use, all approved nodes in the network. Every solution comes with an umbilical cord you can't cut without collapsing the system you now rely on. How the web grows without war. Military expansion is costly and obvious. Network expansion is self-funding and invisible. Once a nation is plugged in, its disasters generate data for the network. Its compliance reinforces the legitimacy of the system. Its instability justifies deeper integration. No need to raise a flag over the capital. The capital runs on your servers now. Case studies in silent conquest, island nations, and climate aid. Entire governments reorganized around resilience planning that's scripted by foreign AI, down to evacuation protocols and land use laws. Post-coup economies. Countries offered emergency liquidity with digital currency platforms that lock them into centralized global settlement systems. Mega-city partnerships. Cities offered smart infrastructure packages. Every sensor, traffic light, and water meter tied to a single control grid with remote override capability. The illusion of sovereignty. The most dangerous part? The target nation still believes it's sovereign. They can elect new leaders, pass new laws, hold independence parades, but their food comes from a supply chain they don't control. Their currency flows through a ledger they can't access. And their weather is shaped by a grid they didn't design. The empire of the old world planted flags. The empire of the new world plants dependencies. The feedback loop goes global. Just like at home, crises abroad fuel the machine. A hurricane wipes out crops in a foreign region. Aid packages bring in new infrastructure contracts. Infrastructure links the country's systems to the network. New instability data improves predictive algorithms. For every other connected nation, every plugged-in node strengthens the whole until the network itself becomes the empire, with no capital city, no borders, and no formal declaration of control.